It's time for me to warm your spirit, YouTube family. You have been watching me. On today's episode of the Jamaican Cooking Journey, I will be sharing with you the infamous ham bone soup. That left back ham bone from Christmas for soup. Most times people put it in green gungo. I think I have green gungo. I do think I have also a red peas. I'm not sure, but there are other videos with ham bone, leftover ham bone from Christmas soup. That's more like something like a tradition in Jamaica. I think other Caribbean countries too, but you can let me know in the comments below. But let me pause right here to say special thanks to my patrons that have been making my page possible. If you would like to be a part of my Patreon family, check in the description of this and all my other videos and lives, and there will be a link to my Patreon page. Post notification shoutouts today goes right up there. Now this is our very first soup of 2024. Let me introduce you to my stuff that I'll be using. This is the cream of the crop, or very left back. So I didn't have a big bone in my ham, so this is what we got here. Now I have got here some chopped, to be exact, half a cup of roughly chopped onions, and I've got 3 stalks of scallions. I have here half of a cup of diced butter, and it's softened. 5 cloves of garlic, finely chopped. 1 ounce of finely chopped ginger. 3 cups of pre-soaked, and this is 3 cups of dried red peas, pea-soaked. I'm gonna be putting carrot, and you see how the carrot look, but look here, now watch it. It's live. And I'm gonna be using 2 beets. I am gonna be using sweet potato. I will put in a few little peanuts dumpling, and probably a few little cubes of yam. I don't want a big, like, hefty lot of dumplings. And 3 cups of dried red peas, and it has been soaked. This red peas is relatively soft, so I'll just cook it stove style. Right here I've got my cast iron in a mill. I have already boiled my water because I'm going to be needing that. This was on the low, so the pot is dry. I'm going to be melting my butter. This time I'm not using margarine. I'm trying to get myself into butter. Real butter is hard to get in Jamaica. Not really hard to get, but sometimes, like, you know, little regular supermarkets and stuff, you don't get them, but I'm trying to use them as I go. I'm trying to mostly use butter as opposed to margarine, because I had a problem for the longest while thinking that butter wasn't more flavorful than margarine, but I've got to eat my words. Butter is more flavorful than margarine. With my heat up, I am going to be putting in very first here my garlic, and actually I will not let it burn because we don't want to burn garlic all them something. So you know what we're doing right here, we are flavoring up. This is how we're starting to do this little ham bone soup with red peas. Not a lot of food. So this is a very heavy bottom thing. Bottom is, and I am going to be sauteing it off on the ice heat, but at the same time trying not to let it burn. So I will do this for probably about a minute. I don't need more than a minute because I don't want the ginger to burn, either the garlic. And I want you to select, you know, ripe ginger. Don't get the ginger them were big and worthless, and when you open them out they are white on the eye right here, and everything is going on nice and sweet, and also it's looking dandy. And I'll add that, gonna stir it around a few more times, and when you see me next I'll be adding my onions and my scallions. Continuing on this nice and beautiful sauteing thing, the bottom of the skillet has now become relatively hot, and it is trapping the heat in there, and it is taking this my little sauteing process to a different level. Now that I've had my onions especially, you see how much it has just, you know, mopped up some of that butter. And that is what we wanted. We are going to continue on the high until they are like, you know, getting some form of translucence, not fully, but you know, it start breaking down. Breaking down. And let me tell you, at this point, if you are really familiar with sauteing these herbs, you would have known what is happening right here with flavors. They are just bursting inside my kitchen. So you see that? Onions have been broken down, you see? They are looking all relaxed. They are not translucent, and we're not waiting on them to be, but they are not, you see that they have that relaxed look. They are not just popping up like that again. This is the time for you to very carefully add your 3 cups of soaked red peas. Yep. Leaving it in there. And look at that. Look at that beauty. Right here we want to just add like a little salt. I'll not be using like noodles and stuff. I'll show you what I'll be using nearing to the end. So I'll go now get me a little salt. 1 tablespoon of salt right in. Bearing in mind, I know my ham is not salty. I am not using like noodles and stuff with those extra salt. So this is what I have here, and I'm going to be leaving it to come to a boil. And as it starts boiling, I'll lower my flame, probably add a little hot water, and we're going to leave it to cook. So at this point, you see that my peas are starting boiling. So I went ahead and I used some warm water and I rinsed off. Because my ham was frozen, I rinsed off the frost because it's still halfway frozen. I'm going to put it in the middle of the pot right there, vamp my flame up, and I'm going to put in some extra water in there. This ham bone is gonna, with this some meat on it, it is gonna start cooking, and whatever little flavor, with the flavors that I've started with the soup with, they're gonna stay right in there, and they are going to just burst together in the pot. I leave this. These peas are relatively soft, so I'll give this about 45 minutes, coming every now and then, very careful, using my spoon, and you know, to just guide my ham bone around. So you want to use a really like wide pot, and all of that. We're gonna cook it with the peas until the peas is properly or 3/4 of a way cooked. Then I am going to be removing the bone with the ham meat still on it. It should be softened pretty much more by then. And then I will remove it to a plate, pick off the meat, have the bone left, and then at the end, or almost at the end of the cooking of the soup, I return the little meat. So at that point, all the flavors from the ham bone will be ejected inside of the soup. Next clip. We are at the point, you see this simmer. You see how my peas have been subsided or relaxed they look? Look at this. You see I've turned it also. I must tell you, I have turned my ham bone. Okay? So at this point, I'm going to be very careful. I don't want it burn me. You see all of them niceness in the bone. What's that thing that we have? That collagen? Don't do like me. Don't want to get something else, you know, and take out the ham bone out of the soup. And all of that. Okay, so you see what we have left in here? Yeah, that's all we have left in here. We want to test our peas grain now. Remember I told you we want it halfway cooked? Look at this, them almost cooked. Look at this. What I'm going to be doing right now, I'm going to be tasting one of the grains of the peas. Okay? And I am trying to find out if my peas is being flavored up. The ginger, not overpowering the garlic. Let me tell you something. Right in, get in camera girl. My flame was there low. Right up now, boiled water or hot water, whatever. You dip on your own, you know that. We are pull out that in there, because at this point, I have me here some little soup dumplings. I have a dough that I have just prepared, and I'm gonna be just like, because this spot, it seems that it, you know, it's a little sticking right there, so you want to stir, because the peas are breaking down, they are getting soft now, so you know they are releasing their starches, so you will get sticky. So at this point, I'm gonna get me my little dough right in. This was like about 10 ounces of flour with like a tablespoon of butter. These are what I'm going to be putting in there. Yeah, I mean, I put them in first. You see that bubble? And as I go along, I put them in there. Hello. We have to put, look like that up here. Them dumpling here in the pea soup. You see you're not seeing any of the peas? That means the peas, they are almost cooked. They are breaking down. This is the perfect time to be adding my little condiments. So I've just put in my little soup dumplings. I have here some carrots and some beets, and I'm putting it in there. The beets is to help with some form of coloring as it cooks and breaks down in the red peas, and I also wanted these vegetables in there. Now I have some little yam and the potatoes, and I have cut them in small pieces too, and I'll be adding them just now. So you see the beets, they have started right away turning the color of the soup. Yeah, but I had my potatoes and my yam. They're just in small pieces like this right now. Sweet potatoes and yam, and this is how I chose to cut them in small pieces so they will cook evenly with the other stuff that I have in there and all of that. So I'm gonna let it go for about another 5 minutes, okay? And I'm gonna be returning. At that point, I definitely will be adding my coconut milk, and I have a little something. I'll be just vamping it up with a little grated fresh garlic and all of that, and you'll see. Look here, let me tell you, man, you need to do this one. At this point, I want to add my coconut milk. You see what is happening inside there? Look at that. Yes, I should have put my coconut milk in the microwave or warm it, but that's how it goes. Sometimes when the wheat is in, the fat is out. So all I have to do is just to up my flame a little bit. I'm gonna make sure I stir thoroughly to get the coconut milk all mixed in and all of that. Right now, what I want to do is add some smoked paprika to this. Half of a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and I'm going to put it all over there. And I want to get it all mixed in properly, and this is what it looks like. We're going to be mixing in this paprika. Yeah. A quarter or a little less than a quarter. I don't have fresh scotch bonnet, so I'm using some red pepper powder that I did on my own. I'm adding some fresh green thyme, and at this point I'll be just grating 2 pegs of fresh garlic. This is my final seasoning up, because actually we are winding down right now in this soup. So my paprika measurement was 3/4. Now this is roasted and grounded coriander, and I added some cloves, and they have been grounded. This is my final seasoning hub. Turn my flame down because it started, the temperature has been built up back, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what I am talking about. I'm going to be giving it a few stirs as I go along, and as I go along, I'll be just sort of like mashing a little of my peas. You see that? So I have enough starch in there, the peas, the potatoes, and the yam. You know, I'll just mash a little, and as you come and start mashing a little and start stirring, make sure your heat is on the low. We will be getting that body, the soup will be coming together. Make sure you have a little hot water in case it starts going too hard and like a dry. No, come as a one soup, you know, one soup. Let me tell you, I'm gonna give this about 5 minutes more, because we have the amp put in, you know. Must soon come. You see that low simmer? This is the simmer we want. Giving it a beautiful stir at this point. Hello, you don't want when this soup is ready. You see the liquid one side, You see the them one side as scatter like a tiki fish in a river, and the food them there one side. We want to stir the soup and let the starches be released and bring the soup together, making a body like our soup for you. This is our ham. Amen. We take off all of the meat off of the ham. Be careful at this point. And I like that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And look here. I don't know about Uno, but one piece of this bone is mine. This piece is mine. I don't know who want the next piece. Please to take it up in the comment section. And this is it. When you see me next, I don't have nothing more to do to this soup. I've already checked for my salt perfection. My flavorings are on point. And all me I go do, but also come probably about 2 more times. Give it some beautiful stir very carefully, because I got what I want. I've got it going on. Look at that. Give them a shoot. Give them a 360 camera girl. Give them a shot. Beautiful one. Look at that. Next clip. So we are about to dish now. Almost. We're going to just let it simmer down. So I've removed my bones again. And I'm coming at this point. I'm using 2 spoons. I'm just going to give my final stir. And also, you see, you know that your soup is ready. Or all this food have subsided. They have relaxed. They have settled down. Okay? And you see that your soup is like moving away from right there. So let us give it this final stir. And I like that. Add what you want. Okay? This is to stir, and this is to show you the consistency of my red pea soup. When I take up, my soup is there, everything is there. I'm gonna leave this to just get cool down, and as it cools down, it will be more, you know, the body will come together more, and then I'll come back. And you know, it is a must that I must dish up a plate of this New Year red pea soup with this ammonia and I eat. Next clip. It's time for me to warm your spirit. YouTube family, you have been watching me so long. It's time now to plate up some. So here I go with my ladle, stirring around, because I want, each time I come up, I get a little of everything. That is how this soup is. Everything is like in almost the same size. Look at this. Perfect consistency for your red pea soup. Not too thick like dukuno, and not too watery. Let me clean my plate, or your plate. From my kitchen to yours. From my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all to your stomach. It is Debbie's ham bone red pea soup, done just for you. Traditionally, after the Christmas holidays, with our ham bone. If you don't eat pork or you don't have a ham bone, you can use your turkey carcass, your roast chicken carcass, and you can do it just the same. Maybe more flavorful. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Remember to make sure you're subscribed. We are on our way to 400,000 subs. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Press that option that says all. That when we upload these videos, you are not always there to see them. Share out the videos. Leave me a comment below most of all. And hear me. Make sure you do your soup. You will need it now in this cold weather. Thanks for watching.